Midnight Miracle. Little girl's incredible message revealed Billionaire's life changed forever. Eli Carter stood in the doorway of his childhood home, a haunting mix of nostalgia and regret flooding over him. The familiar scent of fresh-baked cookies lingered, a smell that once wrapped around him like a warm hug from his mother. Now it was just an echo, a ghost of happier times that seemed to taunt him. Years spent chasing a dream had morphed into a hollow existence filled with wealth that couldn't fill the gaping hole in his heart. As he looked out over his small Midwestern town, he felt the weight of judgment pressing down. The picket fences and cornfields seemed so foreign now. Emma, a 10-year-old girl with wild curls and bright eyes, caught Eli's attention that starry night. She approached him cautiously, a wrinkled piece of paper clutched in her small hand. "Mr. Carter," she said, her voice unwavering though her hands shook slightly. "I found this in a library book. It's from your mom." As she handed it over, a tremor ran through Eli, his heart racing. He opened the letter, his breath hitching as he read the beautiful words filled with love and longing. "Come home, dear Eli. The past can only be reclaimed if you dare to return." Memories swirled around him. Laughter on the playground, his mother's gentle touch, days when life felt simple and whole. Tears blurred his vision. Could it be possible for him to reconnect with this town that once held so much of his heart? Eli took a deep breath, fueled by Emma's boldness and nostalgic warmth. A plan formed in his mind. He would revitalize the old school, pour money into it like never before. Surely, the town would appreciate his efforts, perhaps even see him as more than the boy who had left them behind. But as he presented his ambitious vision at the town meeting, the reactions were mixed. Eyes narrowed, jaws set. Eli spoke passionately, yet the townsfolk pushed back, skepticism mingling with resentment. Did their whispers really transform him into just a wealthy outsider? "Do you think you can buy our gratitude?" an old man challenged, voice thick with bitterness. In that instant Eli faltered. Self-doubt buried itself firmly in his chest. Just as he felt the suffocating grip of loneliness, Emma's voice cut through the tension. "You need to apologize," she urged him. "You left them, Eli. They hurt." The room fell silent as he stood at a crossroads, staring down a path paved with shame. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Eli could feel a storm brewing inside him, the memories of his mother guiding him toward truth. Slowly, he raised his head, vulnerability spilling over him like the weight of the world. As he took a deep breath, his heart raced with the thought of revealing everything. Could he bridge the chasm that had grown so deep between him and the hometown he once loved? With the stakes soaring, he had a choice to make. Would he uncover the raw truth of his journey, or would he retreat back to the safety of his gilded cage? All eyes were upon him, the air thick with anticipation. Eli stood on the precipice of redemption, the tears welling in his eyes reflecting the flicker of hope that burned bright in Emma's. Would he finally find a way to heal, or would fear keep him shackled in his solitude? Eli felt as though the weight of his entire life hung in the balance. He had chased success, but now it seemed as hollow as a wind-blown shell. A part of him wanted to run, to retreat to the safety of his tall glass towers that watched over cities far away. Yet here, standing in front of people who once knew him, he felt the pull of something greater. He took a shaky step forward, clearing his throat. "I didn't just leave. I ran," he confessed, the words tumbling out before he could stop them. "I thought I was chasing a dream, but I left all of you behind. I left my mother behind. I forgot what it meant to truly care." The audience shifted, a mixture of surprise and guarded skepticism coursing through the room. Eli's heart thumped wildly, and the silence stretched like a taut string. Had he really done enough to reclaim his past? Could he mend what had been broken? I thought wealth would fix the pain of losing her. He continued, his voice steadier now, fed by raw honesty. But no amount of money can replace love. I lost my way, and now I want to find it again. I want to contribute to this community, not just financially, but as someone who truly cares. The words seemed to hang in the air, a challenge, a plea. Emma stood at the edge of the crowd, her eyes sparkling like the distant stars above. The corners of her mouth lifted slightly. She believed in him, and maybe others could too. As Eli scanned the faces before him, he noticed the old man with a furrowed brow, still resistant. "You say you want to help?" The man replied, voice deep and uncertain. "But is it real or just another fleeting whim?" There was a murmur of agreement among the older members of the audience. Eli's chest tightened. He understood their hesitation. Trust was fragile and could be broken as easily as glass. "I know I don't deserve forgiveness," he said, feeling the truth resonate in his chest. "But I need you to know I'm here to stay and to learn. I'm ready to do the hard work, to reconnect with all of you." With that, some eyes softened. A man in the back crossed his arms, still skeptical but no longer hostile. The younger generation, led by Emma, looked on with tentative hope, the flicker of a new possibility stirring in them. "Can you promise us that?" The old man pressed, eyes narrow but curious. "I promise," Eli replied, and for the first time he felt the weight of those words, sealing the moment like a pact. "I will not forget again. I'll show you through my actions." Emma stepped forward, her small hand tugging at his shirt. "You can start by fixing the school playground." She beamed, her enthusiasm contagious. "It could use some love." A few giggles erupted, breaking the tension, and slowly, a smile tugged at the corners of Eli's mouth. The meeting ended with a ripple of cautious acceptance. Some stayed behind to talk, others moved away, still unsure. But for the first time since his return, Eli felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps he could make things right. As he stepped out into the cool evening air, a sense of liberation washed over him. He could feel change brewing, tangible and close. But deep inside, the shadows of his past still whispered, echoing the losses and mistakes he had made. What lay ahead was uncertain, but he felt compelled to confront those shadows. And then he heard it, a giggle, light and carefree behind him. Eli turned to see Emma racing toward him, her curls bouncing in the night. "Mr. Carter," she called. "Wait, there's something else I want to show you." He turned, curiosity peaking in his chest. What would she reveal? Another piece of their past? Or perhaps a gateway toward healing? The night was just beginning, and Eli could feel destiny tugging at him, guiding him further down this unexpected path of redemption. Emma skidded to a stop in front of Eli, her eyes glimmering with excitement. "Follow me. I swear, you're going to love it." Her enthusiasm buzzed around her like fireflies in the warm night air. "Where are we going?" Eli asked, struggling to keep up with the energy radiating from the little girl. He hadn't expected to be swept away again, but something in her voice, the way she lit up the dark, convinced him to lay aside his reservations. "Just over here," she exclaimed, leading him through a narrow path that wound along the back of the community center. The flickering streetlights cast long shadows, and he felt the weight of the day beginning to lift as he stepped further into the familiar, yet foreign landscape. As they turned a corner, Eli saw a small group of kids gathered near a rickety old slide, their hushed whispers punctuated by soft laughter. Emma ran ahead, and Eli could see her excitement ripple through the group. He barely heard her call out, "Guys, look who I found. Mr. Carter is going to help us." The kids turned, their innocent faces lighting up. Eli felt a warmth bloom in his chest, despite the past he was still grappling with. Their youthful eagerness reminded him of a time before ambition numbed his heart. "Are you really going to help fix the playground, Mr. Carter?" a boy asked, his eyes wide with hope. Eli knelt, feeling the rough gravel beneath his knees. "I mean it," he said, his voice low and genuine. "I want to be a part of this community again. I promise to do my best." As he looked into their expectant faces, he marveled at how easily they believed. Maybe their faith could guide him just like Emma's had. Can you make it blue? Emma piped up, her little hands clasped in front of her. And maybe add swings? My little brother loves swings. He chuckled at her imagination, nodding. We can definitely make it blue, and I promise to look into those swings. The kids erupted in cheers. Eli stood up, feeling their energy lift him. For the first time in ages, he wanted to dive into the work of his dreams not for wealth, but for something pure and good. Do you think we could have a big opening day? One girl suggested, bouncing on her feet. With balloons and cake? Could you invite your rich friends? Maybe they could help too. Count me in, Eli replied, the idea igniting his spirit. We'll make it a big celebration. As the group buzzed around him, planning their dream playground, Eli noticed Emma looking at him intently, as if trying to read his thoughts. Her gaze was steady, wise beyond her years. What's wrong? She asked softly, her voice pulling him from the bustling excitement. He paused, the shadows of his past creeping in again. I just want to do this right. I don't want to disappoint you or anyone else again. Emma reached out, placing her hand on his arm. You won, T. You're already here. That matters more than anything. Her simple faith wrapped around Eli like a warm hug, and suddenly, the shadows didn't feel as heavy. He realized the path to healing would be paved one step at a time, starting here with these kids, with Emma. Just then, an unexpected sound shattered the moment. A loud crash echoed from behind the nearby bushes, and the laughter turned to startled murmurs. Eli's heart raced. What was that? Stay here, he instructed, his protective instincts kicking in. Ethan sprang toward the noise, curiosity battling apprehension. As he neared the source, he wondered what they might encounter. What secrets were lurking in the cover of darkness? Eli's heart pounded. The night was far from over, and neither were the surprises waiting to unfold. What other challenges would they face together? Eli stepped cautiously toward the bushes, the muted sounds of the children behind him blending into a symphony of whispers. The moon hung low, a sliver of silver in the expansive sky, illuminating the darker corners of the playground. Each crunch of gravel beneath his feet felt amplified, echoing in the stillness, as he pushed aside the branches to peer into the unknown. Is someone there? He called out, trying to mask the tremor in his voice. Silence answered, laced with anticipation. The kids had quieted, their eyes wide, curiosity mingling with apprehension. He scanned the ground, his heart racing. Suddenly, a flash of movement caught his eye. He squinted, and through the thicket, he saw a familiar silhouette, an old dog, limping slightly, its muddy coat blending into the earthy tones of the night. Eli felt a wave of relief wash over him, lightening the weight on his chest. Oh, he chuckled, crouching down. It's just a dog. As if hearing him, the dog perked up, its ears twitching, and it slowly padded over. Eli reached out his hand, allowing the creature to sniff before gently rubbing its head. The kids gathered closer, their fears dissipating. Emma's laughter tinkled like chimes in the breeze. He is so cute. Can we keep him? She exclaimed, eyes sparkling with delight. Eli glanced at the dog again, its sad, soulful eyes tugging at him. He might need a home, he mused, enjoying the moment's lightness. But I'm not sure I can take care of another. No. We should help him. Emma interjected, her voice steady. He needs us. The simplicity of her words struck a chord, a crashing wave of recognition hitting him. This little girl, full of hope and fire, reminded him that life wasn't just about what you could gain or hold on to. It was about what you could give right here and now. All right, he relented, a smile breaking through. Let us see what he needs first. We can't just leave him out here. The kids cheered, rushing to the dog, petting it and murmuring sweet words, a chaotic mess of joy that filled the air with warmth. Eli felt a sense of longing igniting inside him. He wanted to protect this spirit of community, the light that Emma brought into the shadows of his life. As the playful energy swirled around him, Eli turned his gaze toward the playground. It seemed like an endless canvas of unfinished dreams. We can make this playground not just for kids, but for everyone, even this guy, he said, pointing to the dog. Let us make it a place where everyone feels welcome. The kids nodded eagerly, the vision blooming in their minds as they envisioned a bright future filled with laughter and memories. Balloons, swings, and now, a friendly dog, all of it woven into a magical tapestry of hope. Suddenly, a voice broke through. One Eli hadn't expected to hear. "What are you all doing out here?" It was a stern voice. One Eli recognized immediately: Jenna, the community center director. He could feel the tension rising as the kids froze, their excitement tempered by the reality of adult authority. Eli straightened up, locking eyes with Jenna. "We're planning something special for the playground," he replied, trying to keep his tone light. "And maybe adopt this fella too?" Jenna raised an eyebrow, skepticism flickering across her face. "You know it's not that simple, right? There are rules." Eli took a deep breath, knowing this moment was crucial. "But what if we made it simple? What if we could show the community that we can come together to create something beautiful? For the kids, for this playground, for him." He gestured toward the dog again, who was busy licking Emma's hand. Before Jenna could respond, Emma stepped forward, her small stature somehow commanding attention. "Please, we just want to help," she pleaded, her eyes shining with sincerity. The night was thick with tension, and Eli felt the stakes rising. Could their passion ignite a change? Would they convince Jenna to let them advocate for the dog and the playground dream? As he awaited her response, Eli's heart raced with hope and fear, balancing on the edge of a pivotal moment. What would she say? Would this night shift the path of their lives in ways they had yet to comprehend? Jenna's gaze shifted from the dog to the kids, a flicker of conflict playing across her face. Eli held his breath, sensing the tension wrap around them like a thick fog. He'd seen that look before, the struggle between rules and compassion. "Let us say I consider this," she finally said, unfolding her arms. "What's the plan?" Eli felt a rush of adrenaline. This was their chance. "We can organize a community cleanup here at the playground. We'll gather supplies, put up flyers, make it an event." His voice grew louder, fueled by excitement. "We can show everyone how much love we can give to this place. And we could set up a donation box to help with the dog's needs." Emma clapped her hands, her eyes sparkling. "And we can put on a little show too. Kids singing, dog tricks. Everyone will want to come." The other children joined in, their laughter and chatter blending into a joyful chorus. Eli watched Jenna's expression soften just a bit as she absorbed their enthusiasm. "It's an appealing idea," she admitted slowly, her tone still cautious. "But it'll require planning and a lot of community support." "We can do it," a boy named Ryan piped up. "If people see how much fun it is, they'll want to help." Eli felt the warmth bloom in his chest. "Exactly. We will show them. Let us take this playground back." For a moment, Jenna looked lost, caught between her duties and the light in the children's eyes. Eli could see her mind racing as she considered how to balance the rules with hope. "Fine," she said at last, her voice firm but with a hint of a smile. "I'll back you, but you need to understand that this isn't just about the dog. It's about building a community. If we're going to do this, it has to be for everyone, those who come out to help and those who don't." The kids cheered again, ready to take on whatever challenge lay ahead. Eli felt that electric sense of purpose spark among them. This was more than just a playground or a dog. It was about creating a little piece of magic together. "Thank you, Jenna," Eli said, gratitude washing over him. "We won't let you down." Jenna nodded, her expression resolute. "I'll help you get the word out, but I expect you to take charge. And remember, if anything goes wrong, it all falls on you." Eli nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. "We got this." As Jenna walked away, Eli turned to the children, their faces glowing with excitement. "All right, who's ready to make some posters?" The kids erupted with shouts of agreement, racing off to gather supplies. Eli couldn't help but smile at their energy. This was the spark he had been seeking, a reminder of how community could bloom when they came together. But in the back of his mind, a seed of worry took root. What if no one showed up? What if they failed? The thought gnawed at him as he sat on a swing while the kids scurried about. Suddenly, A soft nudge against his leg pulled him from his thoughts. The old dog was back, looking up at him with gentle eyes. Eli bent down and scratched behind its ears, feeling a connection deepen. You know, buddy, it's not just about us. You're part of this too. As the night stretched on, he felt an undeniable sense of hope settle in his heart. But the question lingered. Could they really change everything? Just then, Emma burst back, her tiny hands gripping a stack of brightly colored paper. Eli, look, I wrote something for the first poster. He leaned in closely, squinting at her scrawl as her excitement washed over him. What does it say? Her eyes gleamed. It says, join us for a fun day. Let us build together. Eli's heart swelled. But as he read the words, a chill of uncertainty crept in. What if their little gathering wasn't enough? What lay ahead as their dreams took flight? In the distance, dark clouds gathered, an omen in the night sky, hinting that the road ahead might be paved with unexpected twists. What obstacles would try to tear them down as they reached for the stars? The morning dawned with a fresh sense of possibility, the sun pushing through the lingering clouds like a golden promise. Eli was up early, heart racing with anticipation. The playground felt different, alive with the echoes of their plan. He stood in front of the old wooden sign that read, Welcome to Maple Grove Park, rubbing his hands together in excitement. Hey, Eli, ready to do this? Ryan's voice broke through his thoughts, hands on his hips, chest puffed out with determination. A group of eager kids trailed behind him, their smiles wide and bright. Eli instantly felt a surge of optimism run through him. Absolutely. First, we need to make those posters super colorful and eye-catching. Eli gestured as they all congregated around the picnic table piled with paper, markers, and crayons. He couldn't help but smile at their enthusiasm. They were like a small army, ready to wage a war against neglect. As the children worked, laughter and cheerful banter filled the air, each word layered with hope. Eli listened as they brainstormed ideas, shouting over one another to make their plans grander. What if we add glitter? Emma suggested, her eyes lighting up. Sparkle always grabs attention. SNT glitter a bit messy? Jenna's voice came from behind, making the children giggle. She was standing at the edge, arms folded but a soft smile warming her face. Eli felt a rush of gratitude at her support. We need to show people how much fun it could be, Eli replied, confidence building inside him as he caught Jenna's eye. And that includes every single person around here. The morning rolled on, and they divided into teams to put together flyers. Eli could feel his nervousness transforming into a sense of purpose. Each crinkled piece of paper turned into a beacon of hope. But even as they created with fervor, questions whispered in the back of Eli's mind. What if the response was lackluster? Would anyone even care to help out? Could they really rally the community behind their cause? Just then, the gentle nudge of the old dog returned, brushing against Eli's leg again. It seemed to be encouraging him, its presence steady in the whirlwind of excitement. Eli knelt down, meeting its soft, trusting gaze. You're part of this too, you know. In the midst of their preparations, a woman approached the playground. She had a warm, welcoming look about her, a picnic basket in hand. What's going on here? She asked, curiosity sparkling in her eyes. Eli stood tall, feeling the confidence of his earlier energy surge again. We're organizing a community cleanup. We want to bring this playground back to life, and everyone is welcome. Really? That sounds wonderful. My kids used to love this place when they were younger. She looked around at the vibrant scene before her, the children busy working together. I'd love to help, she said, her smile contagious. Eli beamed back. Thank you. We're making flyers to get the word out. We're hoping to have a big event next week. Count me in, she exclaimed, digging into her basket. I even brought some snacks for everyone. As she pulled out homemade cookies and fruit, the kids rushed over, squealing with delight. For a moment, Eli felt the weight of his worries lift. Maybe they could do this. Maybe they could change things. But just as he began to believe it might indeed be possible, a low rumble echoed through the sky. The gathering storm clouds darkened again, casting shadows over their makeshift happiness. Eli's heart sank slightly as he looked up, worry creeping back in. What if the storm ruined everything? Would their celebration be washed away before it even began? He took a deep breath, standing taller. Let us keep working, he called to the group. No storm is going to stop us. As the kids cheered, Eli's resolve strengthened. But in the back of his mind, the storm loomed larger, a reminder that challenges lay ahead. Would they be strong enough to face whatever came their way? The sound of thunder rolled in again, more menacing this time. Eli's heart raced as he contemplated what this meant for their plans. Would fate throw them an unexpected curveball when they needed it the most? The thunder rumbled louder, almost as if taunting them with the weight of its presence. Eli glanced at the horizon, where the dark clouds twisted into ominous shapes. Anxiety coiled in his stomach, squeezing tight, but he shook it off. Eli, look, Ryan shouted. He was pointing towards the entrance of the park. A few families were walking in, some holding small children by the hand. Relief washed over Eli as he realized their flyers were starting to work. Hey, welcome, Eli called, his voice rising above the chatter. We're just getting started on our community cleanup. One father, a big man with a beaming smile, stepped forward. We heard some kids were putting this together. It's great to see so many young people taking charge. My kids loved this playground when they were little. Eli's heart swelled. We want it to be fun again. You should bring your kids to help out. The father nodded, and soon, more families gathered around, intrigued by the collective energy buzzing within the group. As names were shared and connections formed, a sense of camaraderie began to blossom. Eli, can I make a poster too? A little girl named Mia asked, her eyes wide with enthusiasm. Eli nodded, guiding her to the table where the colors and glitter awaited. Of course. Here, let us make it extra special. As Mia picked up a bright blue crayon, Eli felt the joy radiate from her. It was infectious. He noticed others contributing, gathering materials to help her. Someone even started a small chant. Clean up, let's South fix up this place. The playful noise spread like wildfire. More kids chiming in, each of them ready to be part of something larger. Yet, glancing back at the sky, Eli couldn't ignore the gnawing tension. The storm was moving in closer, its dark finger reaching out ominously. Should we really keep going? Jenna asked quietly, stepping closer to Eli, her brow furrowed with concern. He could sense her anxieties reflected in others' faces, an electric mixture of hope and fear shifting through them. We can't stop now, he said, though worry crept into his tone. Every little thing we do here makes a difference. Rain or shine. The kids cheered again, their voices drowning out the thunder. Eli tried to believe in their spirit. Look, I made a sign. It says help us bring back the joy. Emma brandished her creation with pride, the letters sparkling with glitter. Can we hang it up? Definitely, Eli replied, trying to hold on to that spark of excitement. With all hands on deck, they hurried to find a place that would be visible. The little group dug into their energy reserves, hanging posters while laughter danced in the air. But then, just as they secured the last sign, the first drops of rain fell, tapped lightly like hesitant fingers against their skin. Eli felt his heart drop. Can we really do this if it rains? Maybe we should head for cover, Ryan started, his voice trailing off as the downpour grew stronger, heavy and unforgiving. The bright colors around them began to fade, blending into an uncertain blur. No, Eli shouted over the din, his determination ignited by the gathering panic. We can't give up now. Let us grab what we can and keep going. But as he spoke, the storm intensified, the wind picking up with a chilling force. Eli watched the hopeful faces of his friends, shadows of doubt creeping into their eyes. Would their hopes wash away alongside the rain? And then, as he turned back to face the brewing storm, he caught sight of the old dog again. It stood resolutely at the edge of the playground, its tail wagging as if to say, keep pushing forward. Eli felt a spark of hope reignite within him. Let us do this, everyone, he called out again, rallying the troops. Together we can weather any storm. But deep down, Eli wondered, would they really hold it together when the real test came? As they scrambled for shelter and quickened their pace against the swirling rain, a vision flashed in Eli's mind, a celebration of joy, thriving through adversity. Would that moment ever come? Or was the storm just the beginning of something far more unpredictable? The rain fell in sheets, soaking the earth and drenching everything in sight. Children squealed as they darted for cover, laughter mingling with the sound of the downpour. Eli watched them, his heart pounding like the storm itself. Would their spirits fade with the light? Get under the trees, Jenna shouted, pointing to the thick branches that offered some shelter. Everyone hustled, chasing after her suggestion. The little sanctuary they found wrapped them in a cocoon of damp safety. Eli glanced up, the branches swaying dangerously above them, leaves now dripping like a rooftop in a heavy storm. Eli, do you think it'll stop soon? Mia asked, her voice small, but her eyes were wide with uncertainty. I don't know. He felt the twitch of fear reemerge. The words slipped through his lips. But whatever happens, we stick together, right? Nods and murmurs of agreement surged through the group. For just a moment, a calm washed over them, blending with the sounds of the rain. What about the playground? Ryan shouted. We were supposed to do that. Eli clenched his fists. We can't let the rain win. We'll just have to change our plans. When it lightens up, we'll go back out. I promise. The wind howled, slashing through their temporary refuge, but Eli didn't back down. He could see it in their eyes. They hung on to his words desperately. Suddenly, Emma piped up, clutching her glittery sign like a treasure. What if we start a dance party? Right here. A wave of chuckles broke the tension, and before Eli could warn them about the slippery ground, a group of kids erupted into a spontaneous dance. Eli felt a grin split his face. The spirit was infectious, buoying him like the colors he had seen so vividly moments before. With every splash and stomp, their laughter rang above the storm. The old dog, still perched at the edge of the playground, seemed to watch over them, encouraging their joy even amidst the chaos. Eli's heart surged anew. Here they stood, making magic out of misfortune. All right, Eli shouted, swept away in the moment. Let us show this storm who's boss. You ready? With that, the kids screamed in delight, the rain a mere background symphony to their dance. As their feet found rhythm on the muddy ground, the world around them began to fade. It was just them, their laughter, their friendship, their commitment to each other, and their goal. Minutes flew by, the storm showing no signs of relenting, but the spirits of Eli and his friends were undampened. The air was electric with camaraderie, each drop of rain a reminder of their resilience. But then, Eli's phone buzzed in his pocket, startling him out of his joyous trance. Fumbling to pull it out, his heart raced again. What could it be? A text flashed on the screen, a message from his mother. Eli, the shelter is down. We need volunteers. His stomach dropped. The storm was taking more than just their cleanup. Guys, we need to regroup. There's an emergency, we might need to help at the shelter, he declared, the mood shifting instantly. He looked around at his friends, their faces still shining with joy, but overshadowed by the reality of the situation. We can't lose this momentum, Eli thought, adrenaline surging through him. Let us turn this into something bigger, something that brings more people together. A decision crystallized in his mind. We need to make a plan. Together we can help. As he caught their hopeful eyes, he felt the weight of the impending storm lightening. Perhaps, just perhaps, this was the beginning of something far greater. What if they could create hope out of fear? Would they stand up against the storm, not just for the park, but for their community? Eli took a deep breath, the old dog's silhouette still unwavering on the edge of the playground. He wondered what tomorrow would bring. Would they truly transform this chaos into a beacon of hope? Eli's heart raced as he saw something shift in his friends' faces. The music of their laughter began to fade, replaced by a nervous energy. He could almost feel the storm pressing in around them, the weight of their task ahead settling over their spirits like the gray clouds overhead. Okay, here's the plan, he said, taking a deep breath. We've got to split up. Some of us can head over to the community center right now, while the rest can gather supplies. We'll meet back here in an hour. Mia raised her hand. I can go get the supplies. I know where some old blankets and first aid kits are at my house. Her eyes sparkled with determination, and Eli felt that flicker of hope ignite within him once more. Perfect. Jenna, can you go with her? Keep her safe, Eli instructed. Got it. Jenna chimed, already bouncing on her toes, eager to help. Ryan and Emma, you two head over to the center. Tell them we're coming to help, and see what they need. I'll organize those who can stay behind to protect the playground. Eli's heart sank a little at that last part. They had fought so hard for their retreat from the storm, and now it felt like a loss to leave it behind even temporarily. But their community needed them. Let us meet back here. Okay? We can't afford to get separated. Eli's voice cracked with both urgency and hope. As the kids nodded and gathered themselves for action, Eli felt a surge of pride. They were doing this together, just like they promised. He could hear their footsteps, splashes through the puddles as they set off, courage colored against the grayness of the day. He took a step back, glancing around at the playground. The storm continued its relentless drumming, but Eli found solace in the resilience of his friends, in the determination swirling in the air. Suddenly, the old dog that had been watching them began to trot towards the direction Mia and Jenna had gone, as if sensing their urgency. Hey, wait up! Eli shouted, his instincts kicking in. We can't leave him here. Thus, Eli dashed after the dog, his feet slipping a little in the mud but fueled by purpose. Come on, buddy. We've got to help. You can't be left behind. The dog looked back, wagging its tail, and it felt like a signal, a reminder that everyone mattered, even this furry friend. They didn't need to be alone in their fight against the storm. They were a team. When he caught up with the dog, they made their way toward the community center. Eli's mind raced with thoughts of what awaited them there. Would they have everything they needed? Would others be there to help? The wind whipped at his cheeks, causing him to shiver. He pushed through the cold, determination pushing him forward. As the silhouette of the community center came into view, slowly brightening through the dreary weather, a noise caught his attention, shouting, panicked voices blending together. His heart sank again. Were they too late? Eli's mind was a whirlwind as he approached the familiar building, almost sprinting now. The sound summarized all the fear swirling in his stomach, but his hope pressed on against it, louder and more vibrant than any storm. He squinted through the rain, uncertainty gripping him. What if everyone was overwhelmed? What could a group of kids even do? As he stepped closer, he heard the unmistakable laughter intermixed among the shouts, a sound of joy rising amidst chaos. It was his friends. They were inside already, making their way through the panic. What were they doing? Eli pushed open the door, the rush of warmth spilling over him. And there, in the heart of the storm, they were making a difference. Eli's breath caught in his throat as he took it all in. Would he join them in this unexpected miracle? Would it change everything like the storm itself? The flicker of bravery filled him as he made a decision. He couldn't stand on the sidelines anymore. With renewed purpose, he stepped fully into the brightening chaos, ready to fight for his community. But as he approached them, he spotted something or someone that brought him to a halt. A little girl stood with her hands raised, clutching a crinkled piece of paper. Her eyes gleamed with determination, and Eli's heart raced as he realized, what did it say? What did she know? So many questions flooded his mind as he took a step closer. Eli stepped into the community center, his heart pounding with an awe that overshadowed even the storm outside. Before him stood his friends, each of them busy, fueled by a powerful sense of purpose. Mia and Jenna were passing out blankets. Ryan had somehow found a box of board games, and Emma was encouraging some younger kids to create makeshift signs that read, "Together we are strong." Eli, you made it! Emma shouted through the chaos, her face lighting up. We're making a sanctuary for everyone. Eli couldn't believe the scene. Kids, once preoccupied with their dreams of a playground, were now transformed into agents of compassion. They had shifted from fun and games to helping those in need, creating an atmosphere of hope in the midst of uncertainty. "What's happening?" Eli exclaimed, looking to each of them for some sort of clarity. Jenna turned to him, her expression serious yet spirited. "When we got here, people were panicking about the storm damage. We decided to help out. We're offering blankets, games, and some laughter to everyone. They really need it right now." The determination in her voice lit a spark inside Eli, igniting hope for what could happen next. When the little girl raised her hand again, Eli finally saw the crinkled paper, the same one he'd caught a glimpse of earlier. His curiosity pulled him closer. "What's that?" he asked, kneeling down to her level. "It's my song I wrote for the community," she said proudly. "I thought we could sing it together, and it might lift everyone's spirits." Eli swallowed back tears. This simple act felt powerful, like a ray of sunshine piercing through a thundercloud. "That's a beautiful idea," he said, feeling the weight of his journey shift. "Why don't we gather everyone around?" Emma grabbed Ryan's hand and rallied the kids quickly. "Come on. We're going to sing for everyone. Let us show them how we can shine, even in the rain." As the kids' voices sparkled in the room, Eli took a step back, witnessing the transformation around him. The laughter bounced around like light breaking through the storm's shadows. With each verse, it felt as if they were all weaving a tapestry of hope and togetherness. Eli couldn't help but feel like he had found his place again, the community pulling together rather than apart. "I think we need to go outside," Mia suggested, pointing at the door. "The storm might seem scary, but it can't stop us." Feeling the fire of determination rise within him, Eli nodded eagerly. "Let us do it. We'll take this spirit out into the world." With a mix of laughter and nerves, they gathered their supplies, setting their sights on the storm outside. The rain had lightened, shifting to a sprinkle, leaving the world glimmering in new colors. Eli felt the support of the kids close by, their combined bravery motivated by a shared purpose. As they stepped outside, umbrellas were held high while soft giggles echoed in the air. They danced in their makeshift rain gear, embracing the mud splatters on their shoes. Eli felt exhilarated. The storm no longer felt threatening. It was the stage for their unity. Then something beautiful happened. One by one, the older kids and parents from the community began to trickle out, drawn in by the sound of laughter and music. Slowly, they joined the dance in the rain, smiles breaking through the weight of the day. "Look at them go," Jenna cheered, her eyes sparkling with playful delight. Eli caught the eyes of the old dog they had rescued. It looked content amidst the joyful chaos of the celebration, and Eli felt a wave of warmth. Hours later, as the sun began to set, painting the sky in soft hues, Eli stood atop the swing set, looking out at the community that had come alive. Everyone seemed to be part of something larger than themselves, the worries washed away by laughter and connection. "We did it," Ryan shouted, standing beside him, his eyes wide with wonder. "We brought everyone out." Emma danced in front of them, her small figure a blur of movement. "See, Eli? Even storms can't keep us down." Eli felt tears prick at the corners of his eyes. It was in this moment he understood what his mother had tried to teach him: home isn't just a place. It's where hearts beat in unison, where connections thrive, and where love conquers all. His gaze swept over the gathering, the laughter, the songs, the newfound friendships blossoming. The worries of the past felt light as air now, drifting away on the breeze. "Can I say something?" Eli called, raising his hand as the crowd quieted, turning their attention toward him. "Thank you for being here. Every one of you matters. We are strong because we are in this together." The cheers that erupted in response made Eli's heart swell. They were no longer just a town divided by memories. They had come together, embracing hope, laughter, and love. As the final drops of rain fell, they swirled together past and present, loss and redemption, creating a beautiful mosaic of life ahead. Eli took a deep breath, a smile spreading across his face. "Let us make this playground a place of joy, forever," he declared, committing not just to the renovations but to the connections formed among everyone present. And right beside him, Emma nodded, her head held high. Together, we can do anything. Eli's heart brimmed over with gratitude, knowing that he had finally come home. Now it's your turn. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Every action counts. Comment on your reactions and feelings about this ending. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Join the journey and spread the inspiration.